What's going on, y'all? Today's episode is for all my therapists, or anyone who's in therapy, or everyone who loves their therapist. If you know me, I shout out Jeremy all the time. Today, this is me on someone else's podcast, a brilliant thinker and mind and therapist named Liliana Balin. They have a project called Books That Shape Our Work, Stories, Science, and Healing Invitation. Liliana asked me to be on their podcast to talk about how Brown Enough can be a tool for therapists, which I thought was really, really amazing and beautiful and exciting. And I was very grateful to be on, and I thought we had a wonderful conversation, and so I'm sharing it with some of y'all.
It's okay not to know, and it's okay to sit and then not knowing in order for us to unlearn.
I know we have some therapists who listen, and I know we have many who are in therapy. So thank you for your work, and thank you for your heart, and thank you for your time. Grateful. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. We are here with another special guest. Chris, thank you for saying yes to Books That Shape Our Workshop, our work and story, science, and healing. How do you want to introduce yourself to every mental health therapist who is watching this video today?
First, gratitude. First, a big thank you. I love my therapist so much. I think I talk about Jeremy all the time. Thank you for your work. So special and needed and medicinal. And when it works in such a beautiful way. I'm an artist. I make things. I believe in making things. I make things in a lot of different mediums. And I'm a storyteller. And so I've written plays and I've written books, kids' books, fiction book coming out, on this nonfiction book we're talking about. And I also act and yeah, so I like to make things.
By the way, I got introduced to you because of your book, but now when I see certain programs and I see you or commercials, I'm like, oh my God, I know him. I don't know you, but it's really nice to see you creating. So I love that. So we're talking today about your book, Brown Enough. So I want to start by asking you, Chris, what either personal or professional experience sparked this idea of writing this book?
I want to say the universe really asked me to do it. Like it's obviously based on my life and it's based on my life as a brown person moving through the world, as a cisgendered male moving through the world, a brown cisgendered male, as a kid from Queens. That's kind of where all my writing has ever been about. Like I'm not a James and the Giant Peach type of creator. I live from personal experience. I'm highly influenced by James Baldwin and Eldridge Cleaver and Mary Oliver, and I think essayists are just like amazing the way they can give you the whole world through their lens and yet it feels like your world. I'd had some success from a New York Times thing I wrote about dating white women, and then but that was based on a play I wrote. And so all these agents were calling me and they said, do you have a book? Do you have a book? And I said, I don't have a book. And one agent very generously said, I think you do have a book. And she doulated it out of me. You know, she like book doulated me. She helped me birth this thing where we started to look at what are the things I'm writing and thinking about. And then we found this book where I explore sort of brownness in many different aspects of the world, from, you know, Hollywood to violence to self-hate to anti-blackness to, you know, all of these things.
Thank you for naming that. So, because this video is for a mental health therapist, I'm wondering, how do you hope that this book will support therapists in their clinical work?
So this book has become curriculum in high schools around the country, which feels really cool. And I never wrote it with a high schooler in mind, transparently. And maybe that's why it works for them, because maybe that's why principals are like, yes, you know, give this to my youth. And in the paperback, there is this thing called the Field Guide to Enoughness.
Mm.
It's like after Brown, after whatever, it's about being enough. And I think what mental health does really well is it can help us return to that place where we are enough just as we are. And so I imagine that there's something there in that field guide to enoughness, the word enough,
Yeah.
knowing you are enough as you are.
Yeah, I love that, which then brings me to the next question, which is what are the theme or concepts besides being enough or identity in your book that they're especially important right now when we're thinking about mental health and what is happening around us?
Identity is huge. Community is a big part of the book.
Yeah.
Community is a big part of what I believe we are suffering from. Imagination is a big part of the book. I believe we are going through what I aggressively but honestly call a genocide of the imagination. people are being inundated with information and thinking it's the whole world, and they're forgetting to use their imagination, what imagination has given us, and how imagination can heal us. And words are spells in your mouth is one of my favorite chapters in the book. It's a quote by Susan Lori Parks. Words are spells in your mouth. You speak in order to change something. What words are you speaking? What spells are you casting? And I believe in these words. I believe in imagining that we are capable of saying beautiful spells of self-worth, of identity, of knowing, of community, of love, of generosity. So I'm going to say community and imagination.
Yeah. Also, for anyone who is watching this video, I just also want you to know that as therapist, you will be learning about code switching. You will be learning about self-doubt, body image. You did such a beautiful job talking about it. Language insecurity. I love how you approach because I have lots of friends who identify as Chicanos and they're like, my Spanish is bad. I'm like, my English is bad and my Spanish is suffering. So even like talking about language now and colorism, I mean, you're one of the first ones who actually started naming this in regards to exploring our brownness, our belonging, ambition, love, race. I mean, you did such a beautiful job in regards to themes when it comes to mental health. What inner work? I mean, you just mentioned when we started that you're going to therapy. Thank you, Jeremy, for all the work that you're doing. What inner work did writing this book require from you?
Oh, wow, a lot. Every day. Every day. So recently, now I'm gonna go out so we can come back in, but my friend is really into astrology, and he was like, "Yo, I was looking at your chart," and he said, I took it out of, I'm gonna sort of ruin it, but he took it out of the main houses and put it into this other way of looking at the stars. I'm in the house of undoing." I was like, "That's so ominous," but I was like, "That's so spot on."
Yes.
I believe in undoing ourselves, undoing our stories, undoing our narratives, undoing our self-hates. Like I believe in taking away the fabric of what we've been taught to believe about ourselves or believe about the world. That's what my inner work is, and it's meditation, it's therapy, it's prayer for me, it's reading. Reading is I choose to read consciously both things that are entertaining but maybe help in the undoing and in the revealing.
Yeah.
So I would say those are my main practices that really ground me every day is, meditation, prayer, and reading.
Love that because in all of those you're so present. That's really nice. If therapists, you mentioned one of the chapters, but if therapists only had time to read one chapter of the whole book, which one would you recommend?
That's a tough one. My initial thought is Alchemy of Brownness. That is a chapter that speaks to how quickly we can lose ourselves and what it takes to come back to ourselves as a community, as a people, as body of culture. It really speaks to assimilation and code switching, some of the things you said. So I would say Alchemy of Brownness.
I have to tell you, when I was reviewing before you got in the call, I was like, which one? I love when you talk about mejorando la raza. I
Yeah.
think that a lot of therapists who are not familiar with this part of the culture, they tend to dismiss that quite often. And you did such a beautiful job talking about it. So thank you.
I mean, it's in the water, right? Maybe that's a good chapter too, right? I think it's called The Water We Swim In. Like, they're not microaggressions, it's just aggression, it's just the water.
Yeah.
And whiteness has done a good job of creating the water, and we start to believe these stories about ourselves and our communities.
That is huge. I was like, oh my God, we can write a whole thing there. How do you hope therapists will do different their clinical work after reading your book?
My meditation teachers are also my therapist, and my meditation teachers do a great job at reminding me that we are never more selfish than when things aren't going our way.
Mhm.
It's very easy to fall into the trap of me, 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 me.
Yeah.
We become the center of the storytelling.
Yeah.
Like it's always us. And there's something about decentering or undoing, right? This house of undoing. There's something about decentering, planting oneself off center to make more space to see clearly. In my greatest moments with Jeremy, shout out Jeremy again, like I feel decentered.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm less concerned, me, 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 and more like, let me show you the picture.
Yeah.
You're just a part of the many dots. Like you don't have to be the center that holds all the dots together.
But I think it speaks greatly into the storyteller that you are. In Mexico, we call them cantadores when you're a storyteller. So you are a great storyteller. And when you zoom out to see the story, this is exactly what you're talking about. Because you start seeing all the moving pieces, all the characters, in order to be able to see it's not just you and the impact that it has in everything. So yeah, beautiful. Beautiful work, Jeremy. That's all we're saying. Beautiful. Anything else that you want to share so that therapists can learn more about you?
Now more than ever, I'm grateful for any work that allows people to share honestly.
Yeah.
Like I believe we also suffer. Maybe honesty is a big theme of my work. I think that's a line in my book. Like all I can do is be honest
Yeah.
in what I share and what I don't share. You
Yeah.
know, like in my knowings and my unknowings. And we literally are suffering from a lack of honesty. I mean, there are many truths right now in news and media and politics and in all of this. There are many tribes, who are attaching to many different stories with all of their might.
Yeah.
So there's something about honesty and the exploration of honesty and reality and who's honesty and are we being honest? Are we being genuine? I know for many years I went into therapy with a script.
Mm.
Like, man, it took so long to actually know how to do therapy. And I think that's part of the process, right? Like, but if I go in with the script of what I'm willing to share, then it's not, then what's the point? I have to be able to be met
Yeah.
and to be honest and for us to be honest with each other. I genuinely feel Jeremy is being honest with me about his experiences. When Jeremy says, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel this. Or Jeremy sometimes says, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what like. I don't have the answer. We can rap about it, but I don't have an answer for you. And I enjoy that.
It's okay not to know, and it's okay to sit and then not knowing in order for us to unlearn all those projections that they're being put onto you and somehow we adopted. So kudos for him walking you through this. For all of you watching, just know that below this video we will have how do you contact Chris, how do you go buy his book, and the other books that are available. Today we were focusing on Brown Enough. Thank you, Chris, for saying yes to this project and for sharing some of you with us.
I'm so grateful. Thank you for your work, and thank you everyone watching, listening for all your work. And yeah, Hank, hit me up. Let's tell stories together and make beautiful things. Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right, that was our time, y'all. I appreciate you. I can't wait to be back next week with another incredible episode of Brown Enough. In the meantime, you have any questions, thoughts, ideas, jokes, curiosities, shoot us an email at brownenoughproductions@gmail.com. Again, that's brownenoughproductions@gmail.com. I will see you next week. Much love. Peace.